Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday night stream. Sure, I'll have to say that again. Usually you guys kind of trickle in as I get going. So for those of you guys not in the Discord, I've been saying it a couple times in the last couple days on the Discord, but I had a pretty sweet win streak recently with this 4-color Soul Herder deck that I've been working on. I think I went 12-0, which actually matched. When I first started playing 4 colors, I won my first 12 consecutive matches, which is pretty cool when you like try a new deck and it just seems to crush everything. But then inevitably, after you do really well, I find I always have like almost sort of mirror losing streak. So I just like, I went 12-0 again recently. And only yesterday I lost to Bogles in the third game. I had what I thought was a really competitive hand. I had like an Eternal Witness, bunch of like Abrupt Decays and Assassin's Trophies. I had a Force in hand with a blue card, but the opponent had a Grand Abolisher. If you don't know that card, it basically says that during your turn, if you control Grand Abolisher, your opponents can't cast spells, and they can't activate artifacts or anything like that. So Grand Abolisher was making it so I couldn't cast my Force of Negation, and they played a core Spirit Dancer that gets bigger with auras and draws cards, and I managed to get rid of the first one, and it lost, I think, an aura or two when I killed it, but they had the follow-up one, and because of Grand Abolisher, I just couldn't stop them. And so Bogles stupidly broke my winning streak, and then in the next 2 matches after that, I just got crushed by Living End, like turn 3 both times, both games. And then Eldrazi Tron just had the nuttiest hands. I had an opening hand with 3 Ceremonious Rejections, and they had Cavern of Souls and then double Reality Smasher. So it's just like, so I won 12 in a row and now got crushed 3 times in a row. So don't know where that leaves me, but in general, the deck feels pretty good. Hey DV, welcome to Monday night Soul Herding. I was just talking about the winning streak that I had recently. So the deck has been feeling really good. I can't feel too bad about those losses to Bogles, Living End, Eldrazi Tron. They're both pretty broken. They're all 3 pretty broken decks, and they had really good draws. And I was mulliganing a bit too, so whatever. I talked in the last stream about how I'm going to go about approaching 80 cards with Yorion. And toward the end of the stream, once I had packed out all of the proportions, like trying to grow my removal proportionately, trying to grow my 2-drops and 3-drops and etc. as much as I wanted to, I started threading some utility creatures in, some silver bullets that we might grab. And I was thinking that might be premature. Like, ideally, the best thing I could hope for with Yorion would be for the deck to function exactly as it functions now with 60 cards. Like if I'm drawing like a nice proportion of lands and 2-drops, getting a board established in the early game, and then just slamming Yorion, that would be great, right? Because if we can keep our 60 card feel, but just have access to this 5-drop bomb every game, that's going to be the best. So actually I took out Phyrexian Revoker and I slotted in like a 3rd Wall of Blossoms. I just feel like these 2-drops are going to be so important in 80 cards that we really, really need to have at least one of them in our opening hand, if not 2. These 2 Mistbinders are Parcel Beasts. I think you guys remember that. Yeah, that's a possibility. I could run an 80 card brew. This mountain represents like a Zagoth Triome. I don't have access to that yet, so my mana base might be a little bit weird. I could just put in another Overgrown Tomb or something like that if I wanted to actually see how it runs, but I've got these Mistbinders in here. I guess I could take those out and just put in like more Wall of Blossoms or something like that. But I think, I don't know, unless other people are clamoring to see like how 80 cards works, I think I might as well just wait for Yorion. Like, even though I've played a lot of matches at this point with this build, I still consider it kind of in testing mode. Sideboard changes, main deck changes. I mean, I just like a week ago went up to 4 Ceremonious Rejections, and that's very much like a I don't know, like a trial, and it's been feeling good. So it's going well, but I don't know, the whole reason of playing 80 cards. Like, I guess what we could think of is, like, I'm playing 80 cards. Let's imagine what the board state would be like if I had access to Yorion and not really worry about winning or losing so much, just actually like play the deck. I could get down with that. That seems like a nice idea. So I guess I do have to swap out this basic mountain. I tried to scale the fetches up, like I scaled everything else up. After I signed off of the last stream, I actually went back and sort of fine-tuned the mana base a little bit. In 60 cards, I have 10 fetches, and so I wanted like 13 in this build. So you can see I've maxed out the green fetches, Windswept Heath, Misty Rainforest, the green fetches that can get other key colors, and then past that I have a single Flooded Strand in the 4 vistas. So it went from 10 to 13. So I think the fetches are pretty good at this point. Now I've got 1 each of the Shock and Tangle land for the green-white and blue-white lands. I've got the Hallowed Fountain and Prairie Stream. So pretty happy with how the mana base ended up, but for this Zagoth Triome, I guess I have to put in another land. Maybe I'll just put in another Flooded Strand or something. Oh, I don't know. I hate having fetches that don't have green in there. Hey, Jutanium, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before. To answer your question, yes, Eladamri's Call is extremely powerful in this deck. I've been running 2 copies in my 60 card 4-color deck. I was just saying earlier that I've been on like a 12-0 winning streak. I did lose a couple after that. The deck is powerful. What happens a ton in this deck is you sort of stabilize early on with some Oracles and Ice Fangs, and with Oro in the deck, you don't care as much if you're just sort of chumping with these guys early on, because if you get 4 or 5 cards in your graveyard early on, it's going to be really easy to cast Oro. So we stabilize early. It gets to turn 3, turn 4. Maybe you've got enough mana up to cast Coatl at instant speed and cast Eladamri's Call, and just being able to end step Eladamri's Call in response to whatever the opponent's working with. Maybe they've got a bunch of tokens out and you just want to go grab Deputy. Deputy is also really good against like Planeswalkers and stuff like that. Maybe you just need to get an Eternal Witness. It's a really common pick to go like grab a piece of removal out of the sideboard, out of the graveyard. So it's just the flexibility is very, very powerful. If your opponent's low on life, you can go and grab a Siege Rhino, end the game immediately. Against mid range, I find myself grabbing Uro like all the time because it's just like the value is so great that they can't really deal with it. Like if they thought sees it, it just goes to the graveyard. It's not really a big deal. No, we're not searching for instant wins. It's true, but it's a value deck. And there are some combo elements in it, you know. We do have access to, you know, an instant win combo. You know, if we've got an Eternal Witness on the board, and access to a Time Warp, we can go and grab Soul Herder and start the loop. So there's that, but, you know, a lot of times the opponent's just doing stuff that we need to stop, so we can go, again, Eternal Witness for a counterspell, particularly post-board if you're playing against, like, a Tron deck, some kind of Eldrazi deck. If you can get Ceremonious Rejection going on a loop with Eternal Witness, you can pretty much slam the door shut. Eladamri's Call for Witness, get back Call for Soul Herder. Yeah, I mean, that comes up for sure. In this deck, I particularly have just the one Soul Herder because of the calls. The calls acting as multiple herders for when I need access to it. So anyhow, the answer is yes, Jutanium. It's definitely worth it. One of the players putting up the most consistent league results is this guy CFT SOC3. I think he's got like 5 or 6, like 5-0 results at this point. And since the very beginning, he's been packing exactly 3 Eladamri's Calls. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be on 4 Eladamri's Calls in the 80 card build because you want to scale 3 ofs to 4 ofs, typically going from 60 to 80. I'm going to go from 2 to 3. I'm trying to sort of mimic the feel of my deck because I don't want to just throw, you know, all the weeks of testing out the window. Like if I can, for example, just take Eternal Witnesses and scale them up 33% up to 4, that's going to be great in 80 cards, and hopefully, you know, the proportions actually end up working out. I don't want to just suddenly start playing a crazy toolbox approach. So anyhow, I did like DB Neal's suggestion that I just try to run the 80 card version without Yorion tonight, and just sort of think about how, or just see how the deck feels, and we can all be aware of like situations where we have access to 5 mana, where Yorion would either be like game winning or win more, or not particularly winning at all. Seems like a cool idea. Get us ready for, I think it's this Thursday when the set is supposed to release on Magic Online. So I just took out the placeholder for the Triome that I was going to run. So I think I probably will just run like an extra, I don't know, an extra Temple Garden or something like that. Well, it's not, man. So paintball, you're always like so like trigger happy with catching people and things. just relax, just relax. Monday night, it's no stress. All right, so now we're back up to 80. Totally solid, legit. We would not be able to play Yorion with only 19 extra cards in our deck. All right, so I got to take out these misbinders. These are placeholders for Parcel Beasts, so take those guys out, and I'll go ahead, and I love walls, so I'm just going to add more walls. Let's see if we end up drawing like tons and tons of walls. I guess since I've got 3 Wall of Blossoms, maybe I'll add another Charming Prince and the 4th Wall of Blossoms. So as far as what I did have some room to sort of squeeze in were Vendilion Clique. I think having access to that, playing against like Amulet decks, getting rid of a Titan out of their hand seems pretty strong. In combination with Eladamri's Call, and I was not playing Venser in my 4-color build. I just found that I was siding him out all the time, whether it's because the double blue is very heavy, or for my 4 drops, I just want to be slamming Siege Rhino. I just found myself siding Venser out all the time, but it is definitely stock in Bant, and with a couple of fringe sort of flex slots open in the 80 card build, I got Venser back in, and I do have that old school Muldrifter in the deck. So sideboard will remain the same for the time being. I was thinking about potentially changing from more singletons to more 2-ofs type effects to potentially have better chance of drawing them. But I do kind of take a package approach in my sideboarding, and I don't think that changes too much with going to 80 cards. Like against mid-range, well, let's say like Death Shadow, for example, or I don't know, Jund. Like I would be bringing in both Teferis. I'd bring in Auriok Champion probably. Maybe not, because their creatures are not black and red for the most part. They're typically green, but Auriok Champion probably definitely wins with Ben and Celestial Purge. You see, I have a handful of things that I can bring in against Jund, and it kind of works similarly against most other decks. That even though I'm running a bunch of singletons, and yes, that means you'll see them less in an 80 card deck. I'm not bringing in like 1 card in any particular matchup, and that's it. Like I'm just bringing a package of cards. All right, so anyhow, we're going to try 80 cards. Let's keep our eyes open for situations where we could potentially cast Yorion and see what it would be like. Very much testing mode right now, so I think that given the resources I have right now, I don't think that playing a league would make much sense with an 80 card deck. So I'll just play some Qs. All right, Yo-Yo Herder. And we'll go ahead and wait for an opponent. So how are you guys all doing this evening? Welcome to the Monday night stream. I try to do this every Monday night around this time. I'm in New York, and it's approaching 8 p.m. right now. It was getting warmer today than yesterday, but it was kind of dark and rainy all day. So despite the warmth, it was not a very pleasant day, although I've just been inside all day, so I can't really complain. I guess I can complain about being inside all day. That's not much fun at this point. Hey Stimpy, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy and comfortable. This quarantine nonsense. So opponent's keeping 7. They're on the draw, as they're on the play. I do like this combination of fetches with Uro, but I don't have any 2-drops. And oh well, this is the first hand that we've drawn with the 80 card deck. So hey Malmarua, welcome to the stream. This is a super clunky opening hand. I'm a little bit afraid to mulligan with an 80 card deck, but I think I kind of have to. Typically I look for some number of 2-drops, and we do have a lot in this 80 card build. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan here. This is so rough, guys. I might be running too few lands. I'm on 28. I think I probably should, if I want to play responsibly, I should probably be on, I'm gonna mulligan again. I should probably be on 29 lands. Okay, all right. So we got some walls. We'll hopefully draw back into our, into some card advantage. I think I'm just going to keep like these 5 cards here. Whoa, let's turn that volume down a little bit. So even though Path is great and Ewit are great, we're interested in drawing ourselves back into the game. Fixing mana. Oh, if this is Storm, I think we're about to get wrecked in game 1. Shouldn't have maybe pitched that Path, although Path is not the best card against Storm. All right, just gonna start off with this Forest. All right, so the one thing about scaling the deck up is that I think things like land pockets tend to, they can get a little bit bigger. According to the math, you could just draw, like 5 lands in a row, which that doesn't really happen with 60 cards that often. All right, these walls, oh my god, this is getting pretty bad. Walls don't feel too great in this matchup. We don't even have a blue card to pitch for Force. We don't even, if we were to draw Force. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Game 1 is typically pretty terrible against Storm. Unless you're on Bant and you've got like all 4 forces, which can be pretty good. Here's Brawl, and you're probably just going to lose this turn. So what's going on in chat over here? Yeah, I mean, you are going to draw sideboard cards a little bit less often, but we do draw a lot. Anita, welcome to the stream. I'm not sure what your bruh is referring to. Sometimes you do get flooded. It's true. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play this Astrolabe. Probably follow up. Well, Astrolabe because I could draw a Force, and then I have a blue card now to pitch, and then I'll just go get like Canopy Vista or something with this thing. All right, so we're just going to play out one of those Coiling Oracles at this point. We should also look out for situations where like Zagoth Triumph would be pretty good. Pretty sure I'm going to get wrecked when we untap here. Opponent responding with Opt. They go on top. Uro is a good magic card, but it's not going to get me out of this mess. All right, this is F6 time now. So while we're letting the Storm player play their deck, I mean, the math of everything just changes by 33%. So that's how much it changes with 80 cards. Deck thing becomes less important, but still, oh wait, that's not what I want to choose. I want to choose Metamorphose and Grape Shot. It doesn't matter really. So they must have Past in Flames in hand, and we'll just scoop. Like, it is what it is. Game is basically over. Don't want to waste my time. Don't want to waste your time. Don't want to waste the Storm player's time. All right, what do we do against them? A little Grave Hate seems reasonable. Oh yeah, thank you for letting me know that. I always seem to forget that. I don't know if I'll ever start to remember, but it is a goal of mine. You guys should see the whole screen now. Surgical seems decent. Thought Seize seems decent. Abrupt Decay seems better than Path. They don't really do stuff at instant speed. It kind of prevents like their remands or something like that. Deputy is great. Knight is not great. Oro is also not at his best. 3 forces instead of 2 in the 60 card build. Vendilion Click is okay. Venser seems reasonable. Wall of Blossom's not great. Scavenging Ooze is gas. That's one of the reasons I love having access to these Eladamri's calls. Knight can, but I've also got like 2 Abrupt Decays and 3 Assassin's Trophies. I'm going to trim one of these paths, I think. There's a lot of fluff that you can that you can trim back, I'm seeing. Post-sideboard games against Storm can tend to go fairly long, if we're lucky, I guess. In which case, the Time Warp combo is something that we could potentially aim for. But it's something to pitch to force. Maul Drifter does seem slow. So does Time Warp. Got another wall. I got a whole bunch of Wall of Blossoms I could cut. I didn't see that pocket of Wall of Blossoms. It does seem slow. I think I'm seeing one of the things, one of the dynamics with 80 cards is I felt like I can transform my deck more substantially with 60 cards. Right now, I just seems like a huge pool of cards that I'm just like dropping 4 spells into. I'm gonna go ahead and submit the deck like this. I'm probably missing something or another. Like maybe Path is better than a second Wall of Blossoms. We're just going to hope to draw forces. We don't have a lot. Maybe Ashiok. I think we're going to have to work with this. We'll see how it goes. Could be good. Charming Prince can scry. It means I'm going to want to get the usual Hallowed Fountain. Although in this case, I think I'll probably get Prairie Stream into Forest. Yeah, I mean, it looks sweet as long as... let me open up their graveyard, keep track of what's going on. As long as I hit a 3rd land, I think we should be sort of at least competitive. Two Uros, pretty clunky in this spot, but one of them I can pitch to Force, so just extra blue card in this case. All right, let's get our scry on. Tempo, peace out. So second green source means we can cast Uro. We don't necessarily need a second blue at the moment, and Uro is going to give us extra looks, I guess. So I'll put that on top, I guess. Yep. Triome would be pretty poor in this spot, it's true. All right, so they've got their cost reducer online. So just going to jam Uro here. Graveyard is not particularly full because they're not really attacking us. Haven't really had to block anything. Always want to stack your triggers correctly. In our case, we want to put the sacrifice trigger first. So hitting a fetch is nice. It gets me closer to being able to actually cast Uro. Next turn we can leave up Hardcast Force if they don't do anything. End step I could cast Click. Okay, Serum Vision's making me feel like I should have surgically extracted their Serum Visions, but I typically want to. Nah, I don't like to. Against Storm, I don't like to draw step. They can do a bunch of stuff at instant speed. So I just wait until the end typically. If I click and they try to cast something, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I've got Force in either case. Opponent went top bottom there. So in this case, I've got white, white, green, green. I am going to want to get some blue mana. This would be a great place to go get the Tri-land. So in this case, I guess we'll just get the Hallowed Fountain. Okay. We can't double spell here. I guess I might as well draw step click. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna play this Temple Guard in, and I could cast another Uro, and then hold up click as the blue card that I pitch. But then I'm still not super. I guess I can cast Surgical anytime I want. Oh yeah, we have to think about Yorion, right? So we click them, untap Yorion. Play this tapped, not waste too much time. And I think I'll pass. Ephemerate would be kind of cool here. Okay, remanding. It's fine. Don't really want to counter the remand. Okay, Electromancer, it's going to resolve. I mean, the timing on click is not super important whether I do it end step or draw step. If I draw step, I get to potentially take something like a Pieces of the Puzzle. So I'm probably just going to repeat that sequence again. Although now I have Coiling Oracles, so it kind of encourages me to like play it. Otherwise, I'm just sitting still for the whole game. It does mean that I won't have double blue unless I hit a land. I could also just Oracle and Uro and then just hold up Force. It seems like it's like a reasonable approach here. I mean, I do need to develop my board somewhat. Otherwise, what am I doing? I guess the other line is to just click and then hold up Force, in which case I would be advancing my board with a click. Actually get damage in the air. Maybe that's just better. They already used one of their remands. I do have Surgical, so I have like 2 pieces of interaction. I think I want to just like kind of go for this Oracle. If I lose, I lose. It's a bad matchup. Another Coiling Oracle. So I think now I would rather pitch. I would rather pitch Uro than an Oracle. So I guess playing another Oracle seems reasonable here. Okay, Soul Herder. Now the opponent really knows what I'm playing, if they didn't already. So I think they found another pieces and a pyretic ritual. So the question is, what am I actually looking to hit with surgical extraction? So they put gifts and monomorphos into their hand. So they cast the monomorphos. And I think I have to try to counter the gifts. Although it puts things into their graveyard, they'll be able to immediately cast, because they'll get priority. They'll be able to immediately cast, for example, Past in Flames, if that's what they're waiting on. I kind of feel like this should resolve. Well, yeah, they do. They have double reduction, right? It costs 5 to flash back, I think. So they have 3, and then they can just start going off with monomorphoses. So I'll just counter this for now, I guess. No, I'm gonna let that resolve. Let's see how this plays out. I do have more than enough blue cards to pitch to fight their counters. So this is my pile here. I have to pick the ones that go into the graveyard. So I will put Monomorphos in the graveyard, and I will put Remand in the graveyard. So we know that they have, well, let's see. I gave them two rituals, right? And they just cast them, okay. Another gift. Seems okay. If I let the first one resolve, I would let the second one resolve. Although now they can just get their payoff spell at this point, right? I can put them in the graveyard. They can just cast one of them. Okay, so at this point now, this is a sorcery. So we'll put that in the graveyard. Put Monomorphos in the graveyard. All right, so that's pretty rough. So what do I want to then, if I surgical their Metamorphoses, they don't have access to more mana of that color, I guess. Of a more blue mana, I guess. They can ritual all they want. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they had the veil, right? So I think I'm just dead if they have like Grape Shot in hand. So they do have the Grape Shot in hand, so pretty sure I'm just toast. I could have held up the click, but I'm not sure it would have gotten me there, given what they're working with. So yeah, I'm toast. I'm just going to concede. They had the Grape Shot in hand, so we did our best. I couldn't have because they had... Actually, hang on a second. I could have tried, right? I think I could have. That's true. Because they cast rituals at instant speed, and Pass in Flames is a sorcery, so I should have responded to their instant with my surgical. The thing, I haven't played against Storm a lot with surgical, and now that Stimpy that you're pointing out, the timing with the sorcery versus instant is a mistake I could have fixed. If they didn't have access to that Pass in Flames, I probably would have not lost the way that I did. Although they were already up at Storm count, like 14 or 15. They had 4 spells in hand with 6 red mana, including Grape Shot. I'm pretty sure I was just dead anyway. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like, you're totally right. They cast rituals. It went to the yard. They put rituals on the stack, and they can't respond to my surgical with they can't respond to my surgical by casting the Pass in Flames because it's a sorcery. So I definitely should have done that. But at the same time, I was still dead to the Grape Shot in their hand. So lesson learned, but I wasn't going to win that game anyway. So it doesn't feel quite as bad, I guess. But thank you very much for the heads up observations. Would like to play first. And this is exactly the kind of hand that I was hoping for with this 80 card build. Looks exactly like a hand I would draw with my 60 card build. So let's keep our heads straight as far as what Yorion is doing in these matchups. Oh, that's just beautiful. So if they cast like a Thought Scour or something here, I would activate the Flooded Strand in response. I'm gonna get a So here, even though they have counter mana up, I am going to go for the Ephemerate, I think. They also, well, it's tricky. They could have Fatal Push, which would be obnoxious. So I think I'll just continue to sit on Ephemerate for the time being. I'm going into turn 3 with let me get a shock land here, I think. Because it's kind of nice if I just draw into the tap lands. Sorry, the Tangle lands. Hey, come back to Earth. Yes, a very good spot for a Triome. Good call. Now I could Vendilion click the opponent. That seems okay. I also kind of like just developing my board, particularly if we're trying to play a Yorion. Okay, opponent lets it resolve. Hit another land. Quite nice. And at this point, I guess Ephemerate is probably the call. Okay, tapped Hallowed Fountain. We'll crack this. We get our second blue source, I guess. So now we can click them on their turn, and they'll probably tap something in response, in which case we can then be comfortable casting Ephemerate on their turn. So then go ahead and put a draw step. Stop. Yes, I'm on 80. We're trying to figure out how it feels. Okay, draw step. We're gonna click. Opponent's gonna counter. At least spend some of their mana. They have been doing a whole lot of nothing so far in this game. Oh, they're letting it resolve. Interesting. Let's see what they're working with. 2 Cryptics, Fatal Push, Kaya's Guile, bunch of lands. Kaya's Guile is pretty obnoxious. It gets rid of our graveyard. Monolith, also kind of annoying. But Monolith gets worse as the game goes on. Cryptic Command, they've got the Mystic Sanctuary and the islands to go with it. So actually don't know that... Oh, this ships something. It doesn't put it in the graveyard. So Fatal Push, let's see, actually targets a creature. So I think I will ship the Fatal Push and then force the opponent to kind of decide whether they want to counter my Ephemerate or not. I'm not that concerned with my graveyard. Why is this all showing double like this? What did I... The Fatal Push is gone. Oh, okay. It's showing all the lands there. That makes sense. I could also just Ephemerate my click again. Or try to. So the opponent has played a Snow-Covered Swamp. We can go ahead and hide that. So I think, yeah, I think I kind of like ephemerating the click, force them into some kind of action here. I mean, I expect Monoleak, but then we know that that pretty much means whatever we do on our turn is not going to get countered. Okay, opponent just letting it resolve. We could also ship something from our side, but I feel like continuing to attack their hand makes sense. So they have 3 cryptics now, huh? All right, you know, they're going to be on the cryptic plan. I think I'll take Kaya's Guile. Protect our graveyard. Okay. All right, let's do it. We could, I guess, you know, if that's the plan, maybe we just keep... Actually, I want to attack with Vendilion Click, so let's just do it like this. Okay, so they saw the Astrolabe. They did not see the Icefang Coatl. That's a nice thing that we can cast at instant speed on their turn. Let's see what they do in response to Astrolabe. I predict that they will let it resolve. Thinking that I'm going to go like Soul Herder or something. Okay, Charming Prince, an interesting one, but I'm just going to play at instant speed. Oh, thank you for the reminder. It's like every single game. Opponent is returning the click to my hand. It's an interesting play. All right, I need to be on top of my time here, but I need to resize this window for you guys. So, no response to that. You got it, opponent. I could also just flash that in right now. That seemed pretty dumb. Maybe they drew a verdict, I guess? Well, I don't know. I'm going to do that right now. Archmage's Charm is a good one. Mystic Sanctuary is going to get back that cryptic in the yard if they want it. I think I'd want to ship the Archmage's Charm. I'll ship one of the cryptics. It's such a good card. So we have to hide some of this stuff here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess they have 1 cryptic at this point. Now they will have access to another cryptic. We could trophy the Sanctuary at some point. That cryptic is sitting on top of the deck. They're getting fairly low on life. If they go cryptic bounce Sanctuary, I might just trophy the Sanctuary to sort of cut off that lock. They have Archmage's Charm. They have Monoleak up here. They're trying to draw 2 cards. This is all fine. They're going to have to discard something on their turn if they don't play something. They had a pretty bomb hand. I mean, we've been chipping away at it, but... Oh, the Mystic Sanctuary got played. They still have, I guess, a Godless Shrine. They just played an island. Guess they can start tapping my team down, that kind of thing. They might as well Mana Leak this, right? Because then they still have 4 mana up. Okay. So I guess the question here is, with them at 6 life, do I go for trophying their Sanctuary right now and kind of force them to Cryptic bounce it in response? Or I mean, they could counter the Assassin's Trophy and draw a card, but then they're basically tapped out, and I can attack for 5. Makes future Coatls lethal. I think I just untap. I think I might want to go like Witness, threatening to get back. Okay, what's happening here? They're tapping my team and returning this to my hand. It's such an interesting line. Why is this guy doing that? No, he's drawing a card and returning this. Okay. Still seems weird. Okay, so now I can cast whatever I want, basically. Opponent, okay. We know they have 2 lands in their hand out of the 7. I'm going to play this untapped, almost certainly. So we're going to go Eternal Witness. Although, you know what? I mean, getting the click back down just seems good, doesn't it? Like, click them during draw step, and then I still have Assassin's Trophy up. I don't have lethal right now. I would love to get lethal on the board. I guess Charming Prince. No, we don't have Ephemerate, so we can't do that. I think I might just want to keep chipping away like draw step stuff with click. But probably better just to do it now, I'd say. Witness getting back Coatl also seems pretty good. Ephemerate seems solid, but... All right, I'm going to play a Witness and get back an Ephemerate. I'm going to force the opponent's hand. Oh, wait, that's the wrong card. I do like Coatl a lot here, but Charming Prince combined with Ephemerate and other cards. Obviously, Ephemerate's a very important card in our deck. Got lethal on board. I'm pretty sure the opponent... Well, I don't know if they have another Cryptic. They could easily have a board wipe here. Supreme Verdict. Do I want to go for the Ephemerate here? I think I do. And then if they let me have the Coatl, I can flash it in. If they don't have it, then they're using a counterspell on an Ephemerate. Okay. So board down. Ephemerate resolved. I get to flash in a Coatl on my upkeep. I am way behind on time. There have been some tricky decisions to make. Yeah, I'll pay it, I guess. No lands, 0 lands. Fun times. Some of these Wall of Blossoms can go away. All right. Yeah, so yeah, that's true. Yorion would have been pretty good. I guess I would have let the Ephemerate. Anyhow, I'm gonna try to stay focused here. I need to gain some time here. Okay. So they have not played this Godless Shrine. That's one of the cards in their hand. I think they also haven't played the Flooded Strand. We're going to save this click, I think, to like end step action. Okay, Hallowed Fountain. You can also try to trophy the Teferi. here, I guess, prevent future value. Seems like a reasonable target for a counterspell. Do you have 3 forces in these 80 cards? Counter, draw. Okay. And I don't know if there's anything. I could Eternal Witness and get Ephemerate back again. But I feel like I just want to end this game, so I'm going to just play it tapped and click on their turn. They know I have the click, which makes me not too confident in my situation here. Kind of embarrassing how far behind on time I am. It's been a little bit tricky with all of the click. Okay, so I think we know 2 of the cards in their hand at this point. Okay, Teferi's drawing. Could always try to go for Eternal Witness. Okay, they're getting back a Cryptic. Well, it's going on top of the deck. Astrolabe is going to draw the Cryptic. Okay, lots of counter spells. We're pretty sure that they have the Cryptic in hand right now. I'm going to start with Eternal Witness here, I think. Not really sure that there's a way out for me. I'm pretty sure I'm just like controlled to death here. Okay. So I think a force would be reasonable in this spot. Another land. You know what? I need creatures that can attack, so if they wipe my board... I still have a Prince in hand, I guess. All right. 1 life. Opponent with a full grip. As far as I know, we don't. I think the Cryptic that they looped with the Sanctuary is now in the graveyard, so we don't know that they have a Cryptic in hand. There's that Godless Shrine. This would be a good spot for a Triome if we're looking out for that kind of thing. Come on, Force. Give us a chance here. I don't even know what I want, so let's get a Prairie Stream, I guess. Time Warp is a cool one. Let me go to combat first. Okay, they're returning the Sanctuary to their hand. They're going to tap and return that. Okay. So we'll go to second main. To play around Monolith, we'll try to do this. course, they're going to have another cryptic in hand, I guess. Okay, they're countering my spell. The Sanctuary is going on top of the deck. I guess we just pass here. They're at 1. I can flash in a Coatl on end step if necessary, or just save it until like post board wipe here. So, all right, so that's on top of the deck. They can draw it with Teferi, so things starting to look pretty dire. All right, so they have the Cryptic. It was rough that they had the Archmage's Charm. If they had Monoleak, we would have had it covered. So we know that they have a Cryptic in hand. I mean, I don't really know. We kind of want, if this resolves, which I imagine it might, we might draw Force. Not really crazy about blocking here. Don't think it makes a big difference. Opponent thinking if they want to do it now. Sort of makes sense. I think we're kind of locked out. I can draw a counterspell at sort of any time, I guess. Deputy's kind of interesting. I mean, remember, the Cryptic's in the yard right now. Hasn't been put on top of their deck yet. They're trying to draw 2. Of course, nothing I can do about that. I don't think we've seen any... Well, they do have pushes. Might as well play Charming Prince. Okay. Okay, so they're pushing this guy. At least that means Teferi can't ultimate. There's the Sanctuary. I'm gonna put Cryptic. So Deputy is now officially out of the picture. It has been pathed. They're putting Supreme Verdict on top, which is interesting. So obviously an Ephemerate would be good there with Charming Prince. I'm gonna have to scoop pretty soon. If this gets countered, I'll just scoop. Are they Kaya's Guiling? Okay, fine. Call seems reasonable in this spot. They're at 5 life now, though. I guess they just need some life. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and concede. This is quite a hole I have to dig out of. So how does that feel compared to in this matchup with 60 cards? I don't know. Like, I don't... Teferi's obviously pretty good here. Ashiok. I feel like I'm not terribly unfavored against these kinds of... this is actually Esper control. I like Abrupt Decay to deal with Little Teferi. We didn't see it at all that match, but you have to imagine it's definitely in their deck. Maybe I can trim these paths. Can trim the Assassin's Trophy at 2 of the Assassin. No, maybe just 1 of the Assassin's Trophies. Yeah, but they had, I think they had 6 cards left in hand. Their hand was like really, really good. They had like 4 lands, 3 cryptic commands, Kaya's Guile, Fatal Push. The Wall of Blossoms are not at their best, I guess, because we're not really blocking very much. But we do specifically want 2-drops in the deck. That's why I'm running 4 of them. Also, I mean, Wall of Blossoms can't attack, and we need all of our creatures to be dealing damage, so maybe I just trim a bunch of Wall of Blossoms. That's sort of starting to feel okay. Again, if they had Mono Leak instead of Archmage's Charm for the Time Warp, I think we could have won, because getting that second attack step, they would have been tapped out. Could have gotten us there. But they had Archmage's Charm. Just checking if I'm not missing anything super obvious. They do have Kaya's Guile to deal with my graveyard. It's possible 4 Witnesses is not great, but Witness is sort of pretty important in the matchup. So if they've got Graveyard Hate, the graveyard can hopefully just get refilled. If one of those oracles were a Parcel Beast, it would have drawn you. Yeah, true. I mean, it's possible that they could have had like a path or a push in hand for a long time. Remember that they did push the Deputy when they felt like it, right? It's like I played the Deputy, and then before their next turn, they pushed it. So they definitely could have had removal in hand. I need to win 2 games. Probably not going to happen. So I'm going like full aggro this game, basically. It's Parcel. It's Parcel. Parcel like a package. There's no doubt about it. Okay, opponent with the 3rd land. But yeah, definitely a good call that Parcel Beast would have been pretty great in that matchup, assuming the opponent didn't have a way to deal with it. Okay, no extra lands. I could have played the Astrolabe this turn, but I wanted to leave up white for Ephemerate, and I wanted to cast Uro. I haven't drawn any forces yet in the matchup, so I imagine they're going to Archmage's Charm now. And I might want to Ephemerate with them tapped out, but I kind of want to give them the option of countering things on their turn. Let's draw some forces. Like that could get us somewhere. Opponent pitching something. I might want to play a Scavenging Ooze this turn. They can go and fetch a Mystic Sanctuary. They'll probably do it, I imagine, in response to me playing Scavenging Ooze, something like that. Okay, they don't know I have the call. They do know I have the Coiling Oracle in hand. As I mentioned, I'm going to play a Scavenging Ooze, hold up Eladamri's Call now, I think. Okay, they let that resolve. That's cool. So I'm going to play an Astrolabe. I realize it doesn't let me hold up eating something and casting a Eladamri's Call, but Astrolabe just kind of smooths them on and draws a card. If they crack the Misty Rainforest, I'm immediately going to eat the Esper Charm. Yeah, this is annoying, but I guess I let it resolve and then go for Eladamri's Call. Oh, they didn't get a Mystic Sanctuary. That's weird. If I cast Eladamri's Call, I can unearth. Exile all cards from my graveyard and create a spirit token. I feel like maybe I want to go get another Uro at this point, but I can't think too much at this point. You know what? Again, I'm going to do it during the opponent's turn. So I guess we go get Deputy now? This is a little bit weird. Or, I mean, like, Venser. But they almost certainly have Monolith in hand. I would think that's when they choose to play Teferi is when they can protect it. Okay. So what are we trying to get here? Siege Rhino just does damage. It's a nice beater. Maybe just get Siege Rhino. Yorion would be pretty cool here, I guess, right? I mean, they could have Monolith, as I said. The Ephemerate was a good one. I think I do have to care about this Teferi for a little bit. Okay, I could dig that, but maybe I want to Ephemerate it. I think I want to hold Ephemerate for Siege Rhino. Maybe I should do it now. Maybe I should do it later. Always a tricky call. I think I'll just force them to have some removal. Push is a little bit tricky. If they've got Path, I'll go for the Ephemerate. Obviously, they don't have... Well, they could have double white with the Astrolabe. Okay, so looks like they might go for Kaya's Guile, in which case seems like I probably want to hold on to this Ephemerate. They're gaining 4 life. Yeah, I won't be able to catch the Ephemerate, and so it'll stay in exile. I need to sort of play quickly. They didn't exile my graveyard. That's something. I could just Eternal Witness, hold up Ephemerate. I'm kind of playing fast, guys. Hang on a sec. Should probably play my land first. So get another Eladamri's Call from the graveyard. Get another Siege Rhino. I mean, I guess they're cryptic drawing. Okay. Okay. Tricky, tricky. So now I guess we're not in the best spot. Play threats. Yeah, I don't know. This is getting pretty rough. So that's on top of their deck. Teferi's going to draw them a card. But note, if I got Deputy, you know, they would have been able to deal with that as well. They got the push, they got the Kaya's Guiles. I haven't been paying a ton of attention to when I would want to cast Yorion. Kaya's Guile is actually a pretty good card. Okay. And cards exiled from the graveyard. Pretty dead to this Teferi at this point. Oh, so they do have a Cryptic in hand. It's kind of rough. They're not too afraid of Coiling Oracle, I'm sure. If I play Venser now, he just gets Crypticid. Cryptic. So I think I have to pass. Oh, let's think about blue sources for a minute. I got blue, and white, so that's fine. Just hope the opponent gets greedy and goes for some weird Cryptic here. Looks like they're doing something. Would draw a card except the first one they draw. Instead, it skips it and you draw it. Okay, that's fine-ish. Remember, Coiling Oracle doesn't actually draw cards. So now I guess we've got Ephemerate up to counter something. I think we do that here, right? I mean, we're in a pretty sketchy spot. They don't have Cryptic mana up. They could have any number of counter spells. In fact, they only have 3 cards in hand right now. I can't win another game in 6 minutes, though, so it's pretty much over. Archmage's Charm. Whatever. Whatever. This opponent has always had their land drops. They've always had their Planeswalkers. It's just been like, they've always had their counter spells. Okay, there's the first force we've drawn. Oh, that's fun. Notion Thief on the battlefield. Get wrecked. Always got to be something stupid like that in each match. I mean, Charming Prince blinking like Venser doesn't seem that amazing, but I mean, what else am I going to do? Okay. I guess I don't know what's going on with my hand is not in the right spot here. Last time I streamed versus Esper, I mean, what happened exactly? That I just I lost to them pretty badly. Okay, whatever. You got Venser. He's dead. Counterspell from our side. Surprise. We got him. So they should have played that land first, obviously, since they have a Cryptic in hand, I'm pretty sure. Let's play this Oracle. I mean, they've got the Cryptic, they can bounce the Sanctuary. I think we're sort of... Oh, they let it resolve. Oh, and a land. Awesome. Coiling Oracle doing Coiling Oracle things. If you guys want me to scoop, you can just vote now, and I'll just scoop. It's fine. Yorion, right? Casting it like a boss. So they can go get another Mystic Sanctuary. That's kind of annoying. I think I'm going to attack. Okay, you say scoop. DV Neil says never. Two very different answers. Yeah, so Parcel Beast is obviously a bit of a beast against control. What am I casting and drawing for? I'm not saying it wrong. You should go look up parcel in the dictionary. You say, I'm going to deliver a parcel. No, that's not how you say that at all. You say a parcel. You don't. What are you talking about? Are you making a joke that it's just like right over my head? This guy wants to get in. He's getting frisky. You guys really want me to time out against this stupid Esper deck? Good job, opponent. Awesome. So you know they have a Cryptic Command in hand, I'm pretty sure, right? So Eternal Witness, kind of pointless, I guess. Not even sure what I want to get from the graveyard. Force of Negation, but I want to do some damage. So like maybe I just get back click. No, they cryptic at the end of my last turn. So what's happening here? Okay, putting Cryptic on top. Okay. Oh, this is so painful. If I wasn't streaming, I would scoop. Oh god, he has another Cryptic Command. Guys, I can't take it anymore. Oh god damn it. That was ridiculous. Play a creature, got the push. Play any spell at all, got the counter spell. I want to let that guy like re-queue because I don't want to play against Esper again right now. Ugh. It seems like it's kind of drawing like a normal. Oh, excuse me, stretching. It seems like it's drawing like a normal 60-card deck, more or less. Not getting any crazy flood or anything super weird. I guess if we got it to Fairy down early, could have done something. I didn't draw any early forces. I don't know. Does Yorion seem like it would have been kind of like a meme in that situation? Like the opponent had infinite counter spells, they would have just countered it. Or I guess there may have been a spot where they were actually tapped out. But then they would have just drawn a Supreme Verdict. So I guess I can join and just like, you know, try to entice somebody to jump in. That was weird. Let me close these other windows. All right. Where would it have won the game? And how does it win the game immediately? That's a like pretty intense statement. It doesn't have haste, right? They could definitely untap and just cast a Path to Exile. Okay, I'm currently ahead on time. Let's try to keep it that way. MTG Next Level. That name sounds like a Tron player. So it would have drawn me 4 cards. That's cool. These are the kind of hands that like I wonder if I can afford to mulligan these in 80 cards. I do. It's super clunky. Time Warp is always like a good reason to mulligan. All right, but you know, an excellent follow-up. So I'm going to keep this, and I'm probably going to just pitch this Knight of Autumn since it's not often the creature that we want in hand. Let's say we're done. Currently can't cast it anyway. We do have the blue-white into green sort of optimal land start. Is that right? Come back to Earth? I'll have to look out for that pattern. They did not say good luck, have fun, so this must not be Tron. It's humans. So my Scavenging Ooze, I'm not going to do... Oh, and the Deputy would have come in handy. Let's draw some removal now out of this 80-card deck. I think we're about to get run over, ladies and gentlemen. Although the opponent did mulligan, so let's have some faith. Let's have some faith. We do have a wall of resistance, a bunch of cards, a card draw coming. I guess Thalia doesn't do anything. Oh, Charming Prince. It is a human. It does help this guy scry, but it's not card advantage. I'm sort of happy to have a Charming Prince hit the board. Let's see how they stack their scries. Okay, they went 2 to the bottom. Force of Negation, definitely the best possible draw. Opponent knows about one of these Coatls. I tend to put that card on the side. Double Cavern of Souls and Ether Vial against Force of Negation. Play another Ether Vial. Let me just nab that thing with Force of Negation. Man, where's that Knight of Autumn? Double Thalia's Lieutenant. So mull to 5, they're dealing with 9 power on turn 3. I don't think it's time to start chumping yet, but that time is rapidly approaching. Basic would be great here. Oh God, there's there are 2 of these in 70 cards, and I had to draw another one of them. This is a time where you want to play Coatl instead of Oracle, because if we hit a land, we get to play it anyway. And they know I have the... Oh, God. This is so absurd. All right. Whiffing on the land drops despite hitting 2 extra draws, and opponent just like... Let's go 1 card left in hand. It's got to be another Thalia's Lieutenant, right? All right. So we're not blocking with the Ice Fangs yet because we could still definitely hit a... Could still definitely hit a basic and turn on Death Touch. Okay, a non-basic. That's pretty bad. Deputy would sort of help, but we're so far behind. We cast another Coatl and hope to draw a basic, and that's pretty much our only out, I think. Possible I should have played the Breeding Pool untapped to leave up white in case I drew Ephemerate, but I didn't. And now I'm set to double chump. Well, I guess I could take 7 next turn and singularly chump, but that doesn't really help very much. Anyhow, we'll make them win. What a big difference it is between drawing Breeding Pool versus like any fetch or any basic. I would have had 2 Death Touchers. So yeah, you know, if they've got another lieutenant, bring it. I think I'm just dead mathematically anyway. Anyway, you sort of slice it. That's great to hear. I haven't checked in on CFT in a little while. So I think that's pretty much the end of the road for us guys, guys and gals. Just got a little bit land screwed early on. Opponent had the super aggro opening. Just getting beaten up tonight. All right, obviously removal is going to be pretty good. Worship is great in the matchup, assuming we can actually hit our curve. I do like to bring in Pithing Needle as like kind of a way to potentially hose Ether Vial. We need to do what we can against these aggressive decks. Thoughtseize. You guys can let me know what you think about Thoughtseize. Winds of Abandon, obviously great. My single Celestial Purge can come in. What do you guys think about Auriok Champion? It's not going to do a lot blocking, but it does gain some life whenever things come into the battlefield. It seems like it would be pretty good in the matchup. What am I taking out here? Scavenging Ooze, not very necessary. We could potentially trade a lot of creatures and just gain life and get a big creature, so maybe not the worst. I think Oro is pretty good. I did ship the Knight of Autumn. It could be decent against Aetherval, also just to gain some life, but I don't know. Deputy is okay. Force plus Time Warp, definitely Force. Let's get those guys out of there. 2 Time Warps brings us down to 80. We can continue looking at the sideboard. I think that I think Auriok Champion, she doesn't block all these white aggressive ground creatures, but she does gain a little bit of life. I mean, Humans brings it in against creature decks. So seems like life gain's pretty relevant. So let's bring in Auriok. And then there's got to be some 81st worst card. Humans hasn't played any red creatures in a long time, I don't think. Long time. Vendilion Click seems good. Venser seems slow-ish, but it's interaction. Muldrifter is a flyer. Yeah, but you can't block flyers. So I was talking about red ground creatures. I haven't seen Malcontents, but then maybe I haven't seen Humans enough lately. I think Venser as a 4-drop probably gets cut. I'm bringing in some removal. Submit it like that. It's Kessig Malcontents, I believe is the name of the card. I mean, did you see that once, or did you see it in an article about Humans, or you know, where are you getting that they're back on? I think I have to keep this. It's super slow. It's got removal. A stabilizing creature, lands and spells. Keep it. Trophy ramps them, which I obviously don't love. Path also ramps them. So I guess the question is now, do we want to trophy this vial? That's a tricky thing. I think we might just want to leave our removal for their actual threats. It's the thing about like Merfolk is whenever they destroy the Ether Vial, you're always kind of happy about it. Unless they get stuck on one land, in which case we may be motivated to cast Assassin's Trophy on Ether Vial. But yeah, there it is. Reflecting Pool. That's interesting tech. We're going to be able to do like Path Trophy on their turn. So I don't know that I really want to ramp them yet. So I think I'll wait a bit. All right, so Oracle with Ephemerate is a thing. Also, Siege Rhino next turn is going to be pretty good. Here I'm going to want white and then green black. So this will make blue mana. So I'm going to use this to get another green source during their sort of combat, I guess. A lot of 1-drops. Lot of 1-drops. So now, of course, they're going to have double Thalia's Lieutenant. that's how it tends to go. Oh, is this Malcontents now? Is it okay? What are they tapping for? Oh, it is Malcontents. Look at you. All right, so I think it's time to piece out these champions. Let's keep the damage down. Hopefully they're just off basics at this point. That would be pretty sweet. All right, so we removed some stuff. We've got a Siege Rhino queued up. We could, of course, just throw down a Coiling Oracle, get some ground blockers, start get Ephemerate going. Eternal Witness would be a great draw. Opponent thinking if they want to Violin now or Violin later from 1 extra damage, or if they're going to play their Thalia's Lieutenant after this thing hits the battle. They could do it with the trigger on the stack. They'd probably want to do that if they had a 2-drop. Yep, looks like that's what they're doing. And there's the Lieutenant. Don't leave home without it. So now I can just go double 2-drop. Actually seems pretty good. And then untap, draw land, and Siege Rhino with Ephemerate up. Auriok Champion gaining some life. I do need to, if I want double white. Oh, I can't get white, white, blue, green this turn, so that's off the table. But even just stonewalling this guy seems pretty good. Could go get an island and hold up Ephemerate. That also seems solid. I think I might just do that this turn. Yeah, but I can't do it. It would be nice if I had some Astrolabes out. I need just very specific mana for that to work. So instead, I think, well, you know what? Auriok Champion, she just stops their 4 damage without even needing Ephemerate. So, but Coiling Oracle gets me closer to the next land. I kind of like Coiling Oracle with Ephemerate. Champion first. Yeah, because then if they play creatures, I do need to, unfortunately, shock here. So, we get Hallowed Fountain. Now, if they play creatures, I do gain some life. I do get to Stonewall this Malcontents. The lines are pretty close, I think. But, based on tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Reflector Mage or a Deputy to just immediately deal with Auriok Champion. Okay, Charming Prince, gonna blink Malcontents maybe, or just Scry? What's best here? Blink the Thalia's Lieutenant? Blinking anything is pretty decent for us as far as, gaining life goes. Oh, they're just Scrying, okay. Well, this is not terrible. No, Dismember does nothing, right? Yeah, so I don't know if that's what you're saying. Dismember does nothing because it's pro-black. They went top-bottom there. All right, so we're going to take a little chunk of damage here. Unfortunately, really inefficient with the mana usage. I'd love... Oh, what's happening here? Are we flashing something in? Collected Company, no! Humans with Collected Company. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is Charming Prince gonna scry again? Getting back collect. Oh, so we do have. What am I thinking of? Do have Winds of Abandon in the deck. Yes. Where did that guy, oh, he's coming back, yeah, so you're right. That was pretty good, huh? Pretty good. When did they started playing Eternal Witness? This deck, it's so busted that Eternal Witness is a human. So I think to have a reasonable chance here, we need a land, and there it is. So we can hold up Ephemerate, gain a bunch of life. We know that there's a Collected Company coming. At this point, yeah, we just get blue, I guess. Black, white, green, blue. We gain 1 life off of this guy. Gain 3 life off of this guy, and yeah, I guess we just sort of see how it goes. They are going to Coco for sure, and probably draw into something good since I think they topped something with Charming Prince. They have a 5/5 Thalia's Lieutenant. They leave that on 2. We know one of the cards in their hand is Collected Company. What's happening here? This is a Thalia's Lieutenant without even having to Coco. Oh, a Dark Confidant. Just wants to gain me some life. That's nice. Nice of you, opponent. So no more Eternal Witnesses, please. Or no more Malcontents, I guess, right? I feel like they play one of those things. So let's think about Yorion, right? We could untap and play Yorion here. Sort of okay, right? Oh, well, that is a prince, I guess. What can I do in response? Not a lot. I guess I can blink the Siege Rhino. I'm taking 7 from these guys. I'm going to be at 13. That goes down to 6, and then I just gain some life first of all, right? Stack it up. I don't care what the stack does. What is happening here? Are waiting for the opponent to stack his abilities. Yeah, it probably is. Just might as well play it out for the next 10 seconds or something. I'm going to go up to 15, actually, right? Down to 8. I think they probably have just about enough. Pretty nutty stuff out of humans. Oh, wait. It's not coming back right... Oh, okay. It just copied it right away. I see. I thought they had a Prince to Vial in. That's weird. Hold on. What did Prince even do? Oh, what? Put trigger ability from Charming Prince onto the stack, targeting... Oh, so it's going to... Okay, they had a Phantasmal Image, and they got another Prince, which would get another target. So yeah, that's pretty much game. Yeah, it's... We've just been facing some strong stuff against our opponents tonight. It's kind of how Magic goes a lot of the time. But we'll go ahead and jump into another match if I can close this stupid window. Murder Beast. This guy sounds like he might be slightly aggressive. Yeah, it was pretty nutty, right? Like, impressive stuff from the humans player. So we are on the play. Let me get this window sorted for you guys. If any of you guys are not following my channel, you should do that. Whenever I start a stream, it will alert you in case I forget to let you know in the Discord. Let me close these other windows, try to let the system run as smoothly as possible. This is a nice hand. The deck has been running sort of like the 60-card deck. Like, it hasn't felt wildly different, and we have gotten into situations where Yorion probably would have helped, I think. Swizzy, thanks very much for your subscription. That's awesome. Subscriptions are extremely precious to people trying to get a streaming channel going, because it's like the only means of like financial support. Also, subscriptions, the more times people subscribe and follow, I get access to more like emotes and stuff like that, so I can make the channel a little bit more fun for you guys. All right, so we see an Arbor Elf. We're probably facing Titan Shift, so don't have any mana fixing here really. Playing without Astrolabes, like, we've been drawing fewer Astrolabes than usual, so that is a real thing. Oh yeah, you're right, Ponza. My brain is fried. It's definitely Ponza. Thanks for correcting me. They get the turn 1 Arbor Elf. Now if they go Utopia Sprawl, they can get like Bloodbraid. Actually, no, that doesn't work, right? Or does it? Let's see. They cast it, cast it, untap it. So here, all right. So yeah, this is they can cast Bloodbraid here with the second land. So is Ponza going to have the nut hand against us as well? I don't know why my brain went to Scape Shift. I think I saw the 1-drop, and I was thinking initially like Amulet, and then I was like, no, it's not Amulet, it's Scape Shift, but it's not either of those. It's just they're probably going to blow up my lands, and Bloodbraid Elf. I do have a path, but I need some lands. Clothis is not the worst thing in the world. We do have Celestial Purge post board. We have Deputy of Detention. We have Path to Exile. Well, fortunately, Wall actually does something on this board state. And the Tangle lands are going to be pretty clutch here as well. Okay, well, we're drawing reasonably. Not much to do here. Gonna keep taking hits. Opponent pitched a Seasoned Pyromancer, which means they've probably got some gas in their hand. Oh, Jesus. They're gonna have 6. Should I just... If I path the Arbor Elf now, they haven't played a land yet. They'll get 4 from this instead of 6. But I have to path their aggro. I can't be pathing Arbor Elves. This is a Blood Moon now. Just like polish it off. Oh man, this is that version that runs like big beastly creatures, I guess. So this is more like we're definitely going to expect to see some of those dragons. And now they get to double untap this land, Kiora and Arbor Elf. Well, our opponents are getting to show off tonight. At least that's something. Abrupt Decay can deal with Kiora. But again, we sort of have a bunch of things to deal with here. Is this like the pro-white dragon? Is this Storm Breath so that I can't hit it with Path to Exile? It would just fit the theme of, okay, well, Venge, fine. That's something to exile. I can dig it. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Sweet. Opponent with like double Lightning Bolt in hand. Let's see. All right, so we got some decent blocks here, actually, guys. So, why not get in with the Elemental? Seems pretty corny not to get in with the Elemental. Opponent, attack with the Elemental. Thank you. All right, so now we will go to blocks. Line her up. And go like that, and then take 3 from the Pyromancer. Piece out the Vengevine. Continue ramping the opponent. We will have another Wall of Blossoms potentially coming down this turn. It's kind of nice. Kiora, pretty obnoxious. Life without Astrolabe is one of the downsides of running 80 cards. We're seeing that for sure. No black mana. But I can go like Ewit to path. Let's see, what's the line here? I mean, I can go Wall of Blossoms, hope to draw another 2-drop, hope to draw better mana. It's possible that just going Ewit path is best here. Can't cast Siege Runner yet. He's over in that black pile to the side there. Yeah, Swizzy, this is the 80 card version. We're trying to see how it feels. Like, imagine if we could cast Yorion and be like, is that amazing or is it not that amazing? The problem with tapping out for Ewit Path to Exile is like opponent just plays Blood Moon and now we can't cast Path to Exile anymore. So I kind of like getting down defense, drawing a card, maybe hitting a better land. Another Wall of Blossoms. It was a good draw. Excellent draw, actually. Now the opponent can go big in the air. There's an Astrolabe, and I feel like I'm not blocking with this Coiling Oracle, so I might as well go and take a hit, a chunk out of Kiora. Yeah, it's possible I might want to run like 2 Birds of Paradise to shore up the mana a little bit. All right, I have a feeling I'm going to get crunched by like a big dragon in the air. They have access to like 20 mana. This deck actually probably plays Tooth and Nail. Oh, Magus of the Moon. I called it. That's amazing. That's why I didn't go Ewit path. Opponent says, should I attack? Should I not attack? I do have Astrolabe though, so joke's on you, opponent. This is going to draw us a land. Charming Prince is interesting, but I currently only have access to 1 white mana. So, a lot of interesting things now. I can go ahead and deal with Kiora if that seems good. I can also just kill Magus to the Moon if I want to do that. But currently it's not really hurting us too much. It's just a 2/2 for the time being, so that doesn't seem like the best line. Again, it's only single white mana, so I could just go Ewit, grab a land, but then I won't have mana up to do anything with the land because it's going to be a mountain. So leaving up Ephemerate seems reasonable, or just casting Ephemerate right now seems sort of reasonable. Ewit getting a land is interesting because, let's see, next turn, we need black mana and white mana, so maybe getting rid of Magus is reasonable. That would pretty much be our turn. I guess I can just pass here. Play land and Ephem with, what am I ephemerating? Oh, you're saying go for the land drop, like ephemerate now to try to find a land? Oh, I can Ewit land. No, I can't cast Eternal Witness right now. I would have to use the Astrolabe to cast the Eternal Witness, and then these are both mountains at that point. I could Ephemerate right now to try to hit my land drops. I think that seems like a decent line. I think holding up Abrupt Decay also seems good. I can just end step hit Magus, and then I can cast like Siege Rhino next turn. Oh, opponent untapping their Utopia Sprawl. That's scary. Oh, alright. Just making some elementals. That's okay for now. Not that afraid. I got a little bit of life gain coming online with Siege Rhino. We just need to whiff like some monster draws from the opponent for a little bit. Stomping this thing. That's an interesting target. Of course I can ephemerate it. But again, that uses all my mana. But he could hit another land. It would need to hit a basic swamp. You know what? I think I might just let that resolve and still go about Abrupt Decaying the Magus of the Moon here. I like ephemerating. Keeps a creature on the board. Potentially gets us closer to drawing lands. Oh, we ripped the path. We just need to open up our lands a little bit. Ah, that guy, that's awesome. He got countered, so he went to the graveyard. Opponent's getting impatient. Impatient. He will wait no longer. So we're gonna block. We're gonna block. Come on, let's do it. There we go. And I am gonna get a rebound from the Ephemerate, which probably means I'll take 3 here. That's sort of fine. So Coiling Oracle is gonna hit a land on the upkeep and hit a land for the draw. That's what we want. A basics would be cool. Basic, that's nice. All right. So we can cast a Siege Rhino. Seems pretty good. I am on board with Siege Rhinoing. And then we can get, I mean, we just need to eventually deal with this Magus of the Moon. Although it's really just keeping us off this one extra white mana, which would be really nice. Klothys, huh? He's indestructible, but he's alive, so the path will deal with him. Opponent gets to draw a card. Hopefully it's not a crazy hasty dragon. I drew something. They drew something. This is frightening. Oh, okay. Well, that's not too frightening. They do get to draw cards, which is really annoying. But probably going to fade and attack this turn. I don't think they want to just like give away one of their creatures. Oh, they have another. Oh, they just drew cards. Oh, double Magus. That's cool. Yeah, it's not really the biggest deal in the world. They are going pretty wide though. Oh, they're attacking. That's cool. I can kill one Magus, I guess, at least. Now, I'm going to path Klothys, so he's not going to start eating my yard. Tricky decisions, opponent. And now I think it might be time to start getting rid of... elementals are fine. I'll leave it alone. There's some deeper math to be done here, I think. They don't have both. They have 0 cards in hand. What is going on here? I hit cancel. And now we hit OK. All right. Oh my God. Got to get these Eternal Witnesses going. So we have to path Klothys. So I think the first step is killing the Magus of the Moon. That will turn on path, but then I'm left with double blue. I could cast Prince and blink Siege Rhino. That seems pretty good, I think. So we go green, black, white, and then white to cast Charming Prince. So let's kill Magus. We are now going to path Klothys before he gets any triggers whatsoever. And then we're going to go ahead and blink our friendly Siege Rhino, I think. Although I'm going to attack with the Rhino first. That seems pretty good. Attack Kiora because she's like card advantage and we need to get them off of card advantage. Okay, opponent's like, why is this guy attacking? Doesn't he know who the beatdown is? And I do know who the beatdown is. Beatdown is me. All right. Semi-stabilized, huh? Quite the nutty hand here. Opponent just draws 1 card, so he draws a land or something. Blood Moon. All right. We'll take it, you know? We'll definitely take it. Where are my Coatls to start killing this guy in the air? Actually, Eternal Witness for... Oh, Astrolabe, my savior. There's that Coatl. Things going pretty good. I can get Eternal Witness right now and then just Ephemerate Siege Rhino again. Seems pretty tight. Any reason to wait? I can wait. They don't play any counter spells. Uh-oh. Did he draw something big and bad? Gets to draw cards every time he casts a creature with 4 power. Oh no. That means he gets to draw a card. I guess that's gonna resolve. I drew another something. They're going to draw 2 more cards. So much card draw. Okay. Played a land. Thinking about attacking. I doubt they want to kamikaze their quest beast. But if they do, I am down. All right. Die. Oh, it has death touch, huh? So, does it have trample? I don't think it has trample, right? Yeah, it has death touch, so let's go ahead and save that guy. All right, this game is drawing to a conclusion pretty rapidly, I'd say. So we can hit Siege Rhino, Eternal Witness from our hand, get back Ephemerate again. Seems okay. Limited mana. I think I'm just gonna Ephemerate Siege Rhino straight up. Another Astrolabe is kind of cool. Oh, here I can go. Well, I don't have double white unless I play another Astrolabe, so sort of limited. So here I play a third Astrolabe. Obviously, Yorion would be pretty busted here. And then I think that's actually pretty good there. Yeah, I can Ephemerate anything I want at this point. What? Ephemerate. Lethal on board. Ephemerate. Not quite. Yeah, Yorion next turn would be pretty nutty. Pretty nutty. Pillage. Rough. You got it, opponent. You can't be regenerated. Curses. I'm pretty sure that's all she wrote. If he had that last turn, he would have cast it. So, whole team attacks. I do some blocking. Block. 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 That's not too much damage. Whatever. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. Okay, I'm gonna take 4 here. Seems fine. And then I will do my thing here. And that should be game. Because the opponent's just trying to, like, you know, waste a few more seconds on my clock. So I am playing pretty slowly this evening, I guess. It's a pretty grindy game. Probably more decisions on our side of the board than on their side. Swizzy, what do you mean? Like, have we cast Yorion yet tonight? Like, have we looked for situations yet where we could cast it? So Pithing Needle seems okay to name. Kiora. Thoughtseize, always decent against these kinds of decks. They are playing Land Destruction. Celestial Purge, nutty against Clothis. No opponents have talked about the fact that I'm playing 80 cards yet. Auriok Champion, insane. Winds of Abandon is great. They're not really searching their deck, and they don't really care about their graveyard, I don't think. Worship seems pretty good. So now we have to trim some cards. This is... Yeah, we're looking out for situations where we could cast Yorion. This is definitely a Time Warp matchup, like, definitely. They could blow up our lands and then we'd be screwed on Time Warp, but we're not going to keep a hand with, like, 2 lands, I don't think. Knight of Autumn is amazing. Soul Herder dies pretty easily, but I can keep him in. Force, they're mostly creatures. I'm going to trim all my forces. Flying damage seems okay. Venser seems kind of like blue heavy and a little bit clunky. Scavenging Ooze potentially gaining life, but there's nothing they're really doing with the graveyard, so it's not really optimal. It can get big and gain life, but we've got some other life gain in the deck. All these Eladami's calls seem fine. All the removal seems fine. So we really want to look for hands with astrolabes. They do have some artifact destruction with pillage. They might have more from the side. I love the walls. They did an excellent job in that game. Might trim one call. There's not really like crazy bullets that we're searching for. We'll run it back like that. This might be the last match I play for the evening. We've been getting beat up pretty hard, but the opponents have just had great cards. It's not like our deck just failed to do anything. Well, this is interesting. It's got 4 lands. Yeah, it is nice. I've still got Knight of Autumn and 2 calls in the deck. So we can go fetch turn 1, fetch turn 2 for basics. We're going to get green, blue, and then if they haven't played Magus or Blood Moon on their turn 3, we can get white, and then we've got black, and then we obviously want double green for Witness. I just can't see mulliganing a hand that gives me access to lands when I'm playing its land destruction deck and 3 other decent spells. So they kept 7. I think I'm going to keep this. You guys on board? I mean, they kept 7 so they can have a nutty opening like last time. If they start blowing up my... Okay, nothing turn 1. That makes me feel good. And we are definitely getting basics. Actually, we might just want to get more blues now here. So at least there's no turn 2 Blood Moon. That would be pretty rough. Unless they play Simian Spirit Guide, which I wouldn't put past them. Okay, nothing. Nothing at all. And if they're playing land destruction, there's really no reason for me to crack yet. I can just wait until I have to actually cast something. I don't mind drawing lands, honestly. Don't really want to thin the deck right now. Assassin's Trophy is a good one. This is probably going to get blue, green. The green will get this, and then white with this one. Seems okay. We do have basic black, which is pretty random. There's only one of those in the 80 cards. And we pretty much have to win this game unless I start playing significantly faster. Opponent's gonna double bolt me on their end step. Let's see. So land destruction doesn't really get them there in this spot. But obviously, I mean, Klothys is fine for us here. If that's what it is. Okay, Pyromancer 2. This is awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that they potentially get to draw a bunch of cards. Pillage and Vengevine. Okay. So now I was going to get white anyway. I guess I'll just path the Seasoned Pyromancer. Should plan this out, but I don't have too much time. If I want double green and double blue with path with basics, it's going to be pretty tricky. I think I'll path now. I think I kind of have to. And again, I don't really want to thin the deck too much. I kind of want to draw lands. That blue one is right on time. I think I'll go get a second green here and cast Eternal Witness. Maybe I have to figure out what I want to get back, because honestly, lands are just good here. Maybe I can afford to go for one non-basic here and stretch it a little bit. This will get green. Because now I've got all my colors. I just don't have double green, so I can get like green white. I really want to get green blue. Or maybe just green. Get green and then get back like Prismatic Vista or something. I think getting back Path just seems too good. So yeah, let's go forest. I want to keep my mana open. Let's get the basics in the early part of the game. So now opponent knows I have path, and so if they have land destruction, going after my plains is actually pretty good for them. Fortunately for me, I don't have a lot of white in the hand apart from the path. Plenty of white lands left in the deck. The opponent looks like they're a little short on lands. And Trinisphere is fine by me, man. Bring it. I mean, it's going to slow down Ephemerate a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. That can get a blue source. So, we've got the Eternal Witness on the board, but with Trinisphere, we're going to have to deal with that before we start comboing. I think I attack here, and I just evoke this right now. Ephemerate we can't cast, and we actually can't cast our path either, so this is all sort of fine. So what land did we play that turn? Did I play another? I played an island. I probably should have played my... I think I just drew the... I think I just drew that fetch, but I do want to be on the lookout for situations where I can fetch. I would love to avoid land destruction here for a minute. Remember, it is a pretty aggressive deck. It's not so Klothys can't get pathed right now. It can get Celestial purged. All right, well, we get to take an extra 2 extra turns. That's cool. Showing off the strength of these Tangle lands. Warp it up. Okay, opponent can't be bothered. I would have the combo fully online right now if not for Trinisphere. So what does that mean for me? If I, like, I'm so close. Like, let me take another, I'll take another turn, right? Easy enough. We're not, okay. Yeah, cancel that. Land would be good. Soul Herder is also very good. Soul Herder is part of the combo. And it lets me hold up mana to blow stuff up. And so I can cast Ephemerate also to potentially protect the Soul Herder. All right, well, you know, I guess I should have, I guess I left up, Ephemerate is fine for Soul Herder because I was thinking Path on Trinisphere, but we don't need that since we're only casting Time Warp at this point. We're not casting Ephemerate. All right, so he's getting rid of this Time Warp. No, Soul Herder plus Ephemerate is better. I don't need to kill Trinisphere. At least I don't have to kill it yet. I just have to get these 2 creatures to my turn, and then I win. All right, I think I should... Oh, I guess... Path on Trinisphere? What? Yeah, this is a little bit weird, actually. Well, let's see. The opponent could have a Bolt for Eternal Witness, and then I'm a little bit screwed. I said, no, sorry, I meant, I don't, anyhow, I need to concentrate. I'm running out of time, I think. Unfortunately, oh, what are they doing here? Are they going to kill the Eternal Witness in response? Yeah, we sort of saw that as a possibility. Still taking an extra turn. A little bit rough. Obviously, not getting any value out of Soul Herder here. Could have possibly played that differently. Click is a good one. We get to play Click and then blink it. Might as well leave up Assassin's Trophy at this point. I gotta play sort of fast. Glorybringer can get out of here. I guess I could path it. It's not a big deal. Just holding up Ephemerate and path seems fine, and Trophy. And then maybe I just Ephemerate the Vendilion Click now. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, well, Time Warps are gone. Just need to win the old-fashioned way. Played that Windswept Heath. We do have some protection for Ephemerate. We do have protection for Soul Herder. Maybe I should just path this thing right away. Although I think that just hitting Trinisphere is probably the way to go. Open up the mana a little bit. Remember, we do have Winds of Abandon in the deck. Opponent did not play their Seasoned Pyromancer. I believe that's still in their hand. All right, so we can just cast spells at will, basically, at this point. Auriok Champion seems good. Although that means I can't leave up Path or Ephemerate, which doesn't seem good. So geez, I'm getting way too low on time. I need to start doing some stuff. Come on, let's go. Okay. Okay, we got rid of Seasoned Pyromancer. We can path two of their things and Assassin's Trophy something. So I'm losing life to Clothis, so I do need to get this. Let me just path this stupid thing real quick. That was a little bit. I guess they're going to gain a bunch of life. I need to keep Ephemerate up to protect Soul Herder, but he's a 4/4 now, so he's doing pretty well. Celestial Purge would be awesome to get rid of Clothis. All right, actually, Soul Herder is growing, which is nice. Opponent is resolving the path. And they've got an Arbor Elf, unknown card, and Auriok is going to start offsetting this Clothis. Vengevine will get pathed, and I should be actually, I can just eat that Vengevine. That's not a big deal. Oh, Clothis, yes! I can kill this thing. Oh, opponent's going hard here. Questing Beast. Wow. All right. So let's see how the attack goes, and I can just cast my removal as I see fit. They are empty-handed. So we start off by Path and Clothis. That doesn't really do anything negatively to affect us. It does grow the Soul Herder. Remember that Questing Beast has Death Touch, so I'm gonna Assassin's Trophy that thing. And then I'll just block this guy, and I should be sort of okay. Do want to thin the deck despite dying to Lightning Bolt. Gonna gain a little bit of life. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, he's got something from the graveyard? Oh, he can cast this thing. Okay, of course. Okay. Okay, we go white. Does it have reach? It doesn't have reach, right? No. Oh wait, I wanted to target myself. I was stupid. Oh, that's too many triggers. Get out of here. I didn't mean to look at the opponent's hand. But then I like my card anyway, so I'm kind of good. We are barely not dead on board here. So don't target Bone Crusher. Okay, that's good. Important to keep in mind, right? All right, Vendilion Click, take us home. Although Winds also does it. This guy just has a bolt, we're just dead. Which is fine, that happens sometimes. Creatures, I want nothing but creatures right now off the top of the deck. Damn it. So attack with click. Go to the end step. Blink, get 8,000 triggers. Actually, should I have can I say no? Yeah, I can. To this. Relic is what it is. It gets the opponent just basically cycles a card here. God damn it. 2-turn clock. Let's go. Six life. Sort of okay. I have a flying blocker if need be. Oh yeah, good call. That would I just didn't even think about that, honestly. I haven't played with Click in a bit, and Click is a card that makes you always want to keep extra cards that you can potentially ship. So yeah, that would have been an amazing play. But anyhow, the line was basically just keep grinding out the air damage. They can't really afford to attack all out. I would take I would block an Ephemerate, I guess. Take 2. I mean, in this situation, I go down to 4. Bolt doesn't even kill me at this point. If I was at 5 and Bolt would kill me, I can always Ephemerate and gain 1 life in response. Let's see if I can still draw cards, because drawing Winds of Abandon would be pretty cool. So, all right, let's call that a wrap for the game so far. Thank you. It was a fun game. Wow, Swizzy, you're like the only person making any comments. Wow. For like the last for like the whole entire match. Nobody said a single thing except you. Are you guys still watching? That was a fun match. I really hate only being able to play 2 games because I'm like so far behind on time. I guess I have to think that's happening mainly because I'm doing commentary. Because typically when I'm playing by myself, like I'm usually ahead of the opponent on time. I try to make it a point to do that. All right, so 4 matches. We went 1-3. We lost to a bunch of stuff. We lost to, or maybe it was 3 matches. I lost track. We lost to Esper, we lost to Humans, Esper Control, Humans, and then we beat Ponza. I want to talk about the deck a little bit. So I feel like all evening we drew, I think, exactly 1 sideboard card, right? I drew Auriok Champion. I don't remember seeing any Thoughtseizes, any Teferis, any of this stuff. I did draw an Abrupt Decay, I think, but I also have one in the main, so I don't know if that was the sideboard copy or the main deck copy. So with 80 cards, maybe, I mean, the package approach still makes sense, in a way, right? Like if you're bringing in 5 cards into a matchup, you should still do that with 80 cards, and you still have a good chance at drawing cards. I guess the idea is if there are certain effects that we think are so strong, we should be playing 2 of them probably, so that we actually have a reasonable chance of drawing it. In 80 cards, the chance of drawing a singleton is like pretty low. There's also a lot of merit. I don't think I had Worship in hand against Humans. I think I would have remembered that as a potential line. Like, I don't think that showed up. Anyhow, there's merit in the idea that we can run like a totally creature toolbox sideboard and have like a much more legitimate chance of drawing things that we need. So I'll be definitely thinking about that more and more. You know, you can play things like Phyrexian Revoker, and maybe, I don't even know like what the best things are for right now in the format. But there's a lot of brainstorming to be done in the Discord. I do see the appeal now of that, because Eladamri's Call makes sideboard cards, like, you know, if they're creatures, it makes them like really much easier to grab. And if I do take that approach, then I finally would, I think, nudge the calls finally up to 4, or explore other tutors. People have mentioned trying to run Chord of Calling, and I guess there's Neoform and Eldritch Evolution, so there's a lot of stuff to try. But having not really seen things in the sideboard in the matches tonight, I also saw like very few forces. I saw 2 against Humans, which was just very unlucky. So the issue is whether, I mean, there may be 1 or 2 spells that we keep 2 ofs, like maybe Pithing Needle is quite strong, but it probably goes out in favor of something like Phyrexian Revoker, which is just a very similar effect, but something that we can actually tutor. Yeah, I mean, it dies to more removal than Pithing Needle, and it's slower to get down, of course. Like, I've definitely gotten Tron with the turn 1 Pithing Needle, naming Expedition Map. Maybe I keep 2 Teferis because it's so strong against control. But I could definitely see having like a wish board of like 5 to 8 creatures that can come in or out, depending on the matchup. Time Warp, we pretty much won a game with Time Warp, or did we not? We were getting very close to doing it. And the opponent conceded at some point. I think they ended up just exiling our Time Warps with Klothys. It was because of Trinisphere, and I think we weren't going to win with Time Warp because Klothys, we couldn't really get him off the battlefield that game. And so it's possible I could have played slightly differently, where I could have hit Assassin's Trophy with, I could have hit Trinisphere with Assassin's Trophy before I started taking the extra turns, and that might have gotten me there. Oh yeah, I mean, Time Warp, just getting in, I was also attacking, right? Like I got in like 6 damage with Eternal Witness in that chunk of turns, so that was pretty good as well. Yeah, Yeah, we didn't get the best matchups tonight. Ponza is always somewhat favorable, I think. Humans is always somewhat unfavorable. And then Esper Control, if they get kind of just lands and nonstop, perfectly timed counter spells, there's very, very, very little I could do against that. Like it was super oppressive, like the whole match. Like I went to cast Time Warp and I had 3 mana up for Mana Leak, but they had Archmage's Charm. They had exactly 3 mana up, which meant that Cryptic was offline. Sometimes you just can't really do anything. Kaya's Guile is such a good card. Like, well, it's a good question. Soul Herder did play a big role in one of the matches tonight, against one of the games against Ponza, the last game actually. So, and we didn't have to call for it. It just sort of showed up in our hand. I've liked one Soul Herder, and the fact that we're upping our calls just means that we're going to continue having similar access to it. The thing that I have gained some distance from and might not be able to accurately comment upon is, at this point, is how much more or less I'd be winning if I had Soul Herder in hand more often. Like I watched some videos of Bant people, like people playing Bant Soul Herder, and like they're just landing Soul Herder a lot more. In my experience, I've found that we don't constantly want to be landing Soul Herders because they're so fragile and like we have to tap out for it often. And so going down to 1 is why it's why I did that, right? Is because it's a great card. It's going to be the best in some situations. It's an excellent thing to be able to grab with Eternal Witness, to be able to get the value chain going again. So yeah, anyhow, that Humans variant with the Malcontents and Collected Company was like really overpowering. I just got like totally wrecked. I think I'm going to call it an evening. I see there's like a handful of you guys still tuned in here. I can hang around for another minute or two if any of you have any questions about this 80 card build, or about 4-color Soul Herder or Soul Herder in general, my sideboard, the matches that I played tonight. Happy to answer any questions. Again, if any of you guys watching aren't following my Twitch channel, please do that. And then every time I start a stream, you're going to get notified. I think the next day, hopefully, that I'm streaming this week will be Thursday, because that's when the new Ikoria cards are available on MTGO. Now, the day of release online, it's very spotty, like being able to pick up cards, because the way that supply works is like basically through drafts and other events, and then people will sell their cards to bots, and so the quantity gets sort of populated pretty slowly the first day, but by the second day or the end of the first day, we should be able to pick up the cards that we need. So Swizzy, what are you saying here? Interested to see how the deck plays with more bullets in the main. So I actually today I made a change in the deck where I took out the Singleton Revoker and added another wall. And whether that is awesome or not, it's too early to say, but my whole approach with moving to 80 cards has been trying to maintain as close a feel to the 60 card deck as possible. And so my deck previously wasn't playing a lot of bullets, and so I could take out the Muldrifter to put in like a Phyrexian Revoker. That's totally possible. And maybe that's even better than playing a Muldrifter. But yeah, just swapping out like the Revoker for something like Wall of Blossoms just seemed like it made sense, because I want to be drawing these Wall of Blossoms. That's, it's what I've been doing with this deck for a long time. There will not be 4 Wall of Blossoms. 2 of these are taking the place of Parcel Beasts, which will be available on Thursday, hopefully. I will play nothing but the showcase art of that. Like, I'm so in love with all the showcase styles. It's really, really cool. McDerp says Lavinia of the 10th. Swizzy points up to McDerp saying Lavinia of the 10th. It's a good card. I've played with it for sure. It would have been good against Ponza there, I guess, keeping them from activating Kiora, keeping them from attacking with their big army. It doesn't do anything against Tron, right? Because all of their permanents are gigantic. I guess it does something against Eldrazi Tron. It's CMC 4 or less or 3 or less, Lavinia. Let's pull it up. You guys are going to answer before I even get the card on screen, I'm sure. Oh, they can't block. Yeah, that's cool. I forget about that sometimes. Pro Red is cool. No, it's CMC 4 or less. That's why I'm checking. Haha. Swizzy with the wrong answer. Boo. Yeah, so no, I mean I've played with it before, and it seems like with 80 cards, it has a reasonable spot. Let's take out 1 5-drop here for 1 5-drop here, and we'll see how it goes. Kind of magical that I drew 2 Time Warps against Ponza. I guess that's definitely a possibility when you have 2 copies in the deck. So we see that Lavinia is actually pretty reasonable against E-Tron because it hits Little Karn. As well as their smaller creatures. The only thing it doesn't really stop is Reality Smasher and Endbringer, if they play that card. Funny story for you guys before I tune out. When I saw Endbringer, you guys know that card? I certainly don't have any of them in my collection. Not on here, but I do have them in paper. Let me go ahead and just turn quantity down to 0 so it'll show up. Yeah, drop Lavinia, attack in. All right, so maybe you guys know Endbringer. You should be familiar with this card. It does see play in some Eldrazi lists. I'm not sure if it sees play in most of them anymore. Maybe as a singleton, and it just doesn't show up that often. But when I saw this card spoiled, I thought it was going to make a pretty big splash in Modern, maybe Standard. So at that point, I was still trying to speculate on some cards. I've since come to the realization that like making $50 like on speculating Magic cards is not really the best use of my time. Like I could just go like mow somebody's lawn and make $50. Anyhow, Endbringer, I thought it was going to be nuts. I was like, yeah, this card is crazy. So I bought like 30 Endbringers and they're like chilling in my binder right now. So that's my story. All right, let's turn the quantity back up to 1 so that I don't have to see any Endbringers in my collection anymore. Also, I think main deck Ashiok seems good because it'll help you find cards to get back with Witness and Fuel Uro. I mean, there's so many directions, right? And if I start playing Ashiok in the main, how many Ashioks do I play in the main? Do I just play 1 and hope that I randomly draw it once every 7 matches or something like that? Or do I run 2 and suddenly I'm taking up a lot of space that could be, filled by things like Lavinia and Vendilion Click? Ashiok is pretty sick. Is a good card. It's definitely not something I sideboard in every single match, so I don't know that I really, really want it in the main. All right, Swizzy, my pleasure. Thanks very much for joining in, and huge thanks for subscribing. I'll see you next time. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to type in raid here. I'm going to try to do that at the end of my streams. And I'm going to send you to another channel that might be streaming right now. So do you guys know any streamers that are live right now? If you do, just tell me the name of their channel and I'll send you guys over their way. It's helpful for me because it's potentially gets me new viewers from other channels. So let's see, what am I doing? I'm going to Twitch right now. And I'm going to try to find some people that are online. We can check if Yellow Hat's online. You guys know if anybody's streaming right now? I can go ahead and see if all my people are online. I don't follow that many people. So let's see. Maybe Caleb. Caleb is live right now, I guess. I think I'm live as well, so I can see my own face over here. All right, so I think Caleb D MTG, Caleb Durward. So we're gonna raid him. If any of you guys are still around, Caleb D MTG, Caleb D MTG. All right, we got him, Caleb Durward. All right, so oh, he has follower or subscriber only chat, so I guess we can't even raid him. That's lame. What is the Mythic Society? Again, if any of you guys listening have any suggestions for people that we can raid, I think I'm going to go ahead and raid the Mythic Society. It looks like he's playing some kind of LV deck. Yeah, let's check it out. So,
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream.
we are going to raid the Mythic Society. The Mythic Society. All right, guys. Oh my God, he has follower or subscriber only chat. Does everybody have that? Let's show some more channels over here. Jeremy Noel. It's got 129 people. So a medium-sized channel. Would be nice to send him some some peeps. Raid Jeremy Noel. Okay, cool. All right.